Might want to hit record on that one, huh?
Yeah, probably. Pretty good.
Hello and welcome to the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim, along with my favorite partner in the whole world,
Big Red, baby.
Big Red.
Mr. Big Red Lance Dorsett. And we are live today on this episode. From the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. Drunk Dudes and Dolls and Drunk Sports Podtards. We're at 2538 Golden Bear Drive in Carrollton. And we are happy to be here for their demo days.
Absolutely.
We've got... Absolutely. Thank you, Too Tall. I see some golf clubs out there. We're right behind the driving range, by the way.
We got Callaway, Mizuno, TaylorMade, Cobra, Strixon, and all the damn teachers out here to do it.
Man, and there are guys on the golf range that we are interrupting right now, swinging their clubs. And they're testing these clubs, testing this equipment. It's a try before you buy. And all the major brands are out here, as Lance just mentioned, and we are so happy to be here. And I'm really, you know what I'm most happy about, Lance?
What's that?
We are in the shade.
Yeah, we got a good breeze.
We are covered.
It's awesome.
We have a breeze.
I'm surprised we don't have wind noise coming through the mics. I mean,
kind of in a wind tunnel right now, but it's all good.
Don't care.
I don't care either because it is not hot at all right now, as I was worried about. We're watching guys swing some clubs. Try some clubs.
There's some good swings out there.
If you're in the area, this goes on today until 2 o'clock here in Carrollton. And like I said, you can come out and try some clubs, swing them before you buy them. The manufacturers are here. The teachers are here.
Come get fitted.
The GM is here, and he's looking over at us right now like we're about to screw up.
Yeah, he's been eyeballing me. I think he's worried that we're going to screw this up.
We got to watch our language out here because there's kids and women and more kids. So
we'll never be invited back if you screw this up, Tim.
Me?
Yes,
you're the potty mouth on the show.
Am I?
You are the potty mouth on the show. So, yes, once again, we are at the Highlands Performance Golf Center here in Carrollton, 2538 Golden Bear Drive. Come out and see us. We're here until 2 o'clock. The demo days goes on until 2 p.m., I believe. We'll probably be here hanging out, swinging some clubs for a little bit after that, though.
We're gonna get some of that mini golf going on.
There's
a show bet. There's a show bet.
I'm gonna dominate you at mini golf.
Bus is nodding his head. Yeah,
I will. You know what? I can't swing the club very well, but I can putt on concrete. I can putt on carpet on concrete. I'm pretty good at that. So yes, if you're in the area, like I said, come on out, swing some clubs with us. Come out and hang out. Say hello to everybody. We would love to have you out. We love the Highlands Performance Golf Center. They got so much going on out here. We're going to talk to Mr. Chris Bussell, the GM. We're going to talk to Mr. John Gerber, one of the instructors out here. We're also going to talk to Chris Ownbey, who is the golf fitness guy.
Yeah, and he's
How awesome is that to have a golf fitness guy on site?
He's racked. I mean, you'll see him on camera. It's stupid.
I can't wait to talk to him. I have so many questions about golf fitness.
He has all the weight that I have around my belt up in his shoulders and arms and chest. I feel bad.
Well, it is what it is, and I've seen you. I haven't seen you shirtless in a while, but I've seen you.
You will never see me shirtless, sir.
Thank God for that. But yes, like I said, we're here until 2 o'clock. Everyone's here until 2 o'clock with the demo days. Lance, tell us again what the manufacturers are that are out here that you can swing their clubs.
We got Callaway, Mizuno, TaylorMade, King Cobra, and Strixon. So yeah, come out here and try some stuff out and. Let these shut up, Too Tall. Let these pros get your swing where you want it to be. This is what we want.
And as I mentioned, we are right behind the driving range. So if you come out to try some clubs, I promise we will not make fun of you on the air.
I am watching you all, especially you, big guy,
because none of you have seen me swing a golf club in a long time. So we have some special shout-outs before we start the show. The biggest shout-out is for, I don't know if any of you know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is Father's Day. I am a father. Lance is a father. We certainly want to say Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there. We would like to wish you guys a happy Sunday.
You're a father of like half a football team, dude.
I don't know how many there are. I have 6 that I'm aware of. There could be more out there from the very late 80s, early 90s. I really can't tell you.
Lord, please help us.
So for all of those out there that might be mine, hey, happy Father's Day to me, right? So we also would like to a special shout out Mr. Landry Ward.
Yeah,
who just messaged us right before we came on.
Yeah, Landry was going to go down and be in a fight. He's a MMA fighter. He was going to go down and be in a fight in Mexico, but there's some cartel action going down in Tijuana, and he just messaged me and let me know that he was going to forego that fight and spent some extra time training, but he will make his pro debut in January.
Wow. Did he say where?
He has not yet. But
we're going to make a show trip?
We may make a show trip and set up and just do a podcast from his dressing room. That would be great.
I don't want to do a podcast from his dressing room.
Well, we're not going to watch him dress.
I don't want to watch him get dressed.
We're not going to watch him dress, dummy.
Can we do one like ringside or something?
Well, I don't know if they'll let us in.
Can we get press credentials for that?
I don't know. You're the guy with all the connections.
I'm trying to get some press credentials to things that are important.
That fight would be important to me.
Well, I know, but we don't even know where it is yet. Oh, good save.
Man.
It's empty.
If it wasn't for me,
we would have just sorted out the podcast.
This table would have another beer stain on it.
Another, yeah, because who made the other ones?
I did. Shut up. Here.
All right. Oh, sweet. So, at this point, again, live from the Highlands Performance Golf Center, is Chris going to come on with us?
He will, yes.
You want to come on, brother? Come on over here and have a seat. We got a microphone right there. Let me make sure that's all up and going. You're going to have to hold it pretty close to your mouth. Go ahead and...
right there.
There he is.
There he is.
Mr. Chris Bussell, the general manager of this fine facility. Thank you for having us out today, brother,
yes,
by the way.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. Wonderful.
We've been here since about 10 o'clock.
Why does he sound better than I do?
No, that's not true.
That microphone cost way more than both of these put together. That's why.
You suck, dude.
A lot deeper voice.
Right. And I've got the bass boost on him.
Oh, see? You probably got the treble bass on mine.
I've got it's called the sissy setting. I have that on yours. So, Chris, thanks for having us out, brother. This is awesome, man. I see all the manufacturers. It looks like everybody's out here having a great, great time trying before they buy. Tell us a little bit about the demo days and how this happened.
Yeah, that's for sure. We do 3 of them a year, and we try to get the top 7 club vendors, top 8 club vendors, and they bring their tech reps, which is great. It's a great opportunity to try everything in the product line, get fit for it, try, fit, get by.
Wow, that's awesome. Is it just clubs, or are there other opportunities?
No, just clubs. Just anything from wedges, irons, drivers, hybrids, fairway woods. You can get your whole bag fit today.
There you go, Lance. I think you're the one that needs some help with that.
I've got clubs. I just happen to break one occasionally. But I have a guy to fix them.
You have.
I got a guy.
So you do this 3 times a year, Chris. When are the other 2 times y'all are doing it?
Yeah, we do one. We'll do one in the fall, and we do one early in the spring. So
awesome.
The middle one.
So, all right, Tim. As long as you don't screw this up, maybe we'll be back.
Gotta hope so, because this is awesome. Can you promise the same weather, as cool as this
perfect
right now?
Oh my gosh, just a nice change for the weekends that we've had.
Oh, this is amazing. So, we are at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. We're talking to Chris Bussell, the GM of this fine facility, for their demo days. Got a chance to come out and swing some clubs. Try them out before you buy them. So we've kind of walked around the facility here a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where we are and what you guys have to offer?
Yeah, for sure. Right in Carrollton, Texas, off Trinity Mills between Marsh and Midway. And we got a full-service practice facility here. So we got 2 putting greens, a full short game area, the grass tees that hold at least 65 people, and then covered stuff when it gets cold, windy, and chilly.
Yeah, I see we're kind of under the cover here, right in front of the covered tees, and I see the heaters. Man, this is like 20. Y'all are open year round.
Yeah, year round, 364 days.
Wow.
Just Christmas. That's it.
See, I was going to come out Christmas. I got nothing else to do.
That's the only day I have free. That's the only day I can show up.
But no, it's easy to find. It's been here for a long time.
Yeah, since '95. We're celebrating 25 years next year.
Wow, that's almost as old as I am.
Times 2.
Yeah, you're exactly. But, man, this is great. The weather's perfect today. Everybody, if you're listening, come on out. We've posted it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. What else is there? Instagram.
I don't know what else we got, man.
I don't know what else there is. Our buddy Josh manages that for us. So
I can't keep track of all the accounts you've made me create.
It's not me.
I'm
the
lost.
website for the facility right now is golfcenteratthehighlands.com.
That's right.
They do instruction. They do like you guys cater to juniors as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we have junior clinics, junior camp. We have beginner golf programs, ladies golf programs. We have 8 PGA certified professionals. All starts with the top. Mark Manis, award-winning PGA director of instruction. Billy Beverly, our head instructor, and then we've got 7 others. So we've got a full staff.
So if you want some golf instruction, I'm assuming they can call in if they want or check
absolutely.
out on the website.
You can book online if you want to schedule a lesson or call us in the shop. And we got professionals available every day.
Great. What's the phone number here?
It is 972-411.
Nope. 733.
733-4111.
Oh, I have that memorized.
I knew there was going to be one.
Oh my God.
That is awesome. And who do we have over here videoing
Apologies and
us?
corrections for next week.
Oh, this is our website
Tim
director
put
of
the
marketing
GM
right
on
here.
the spot.
I'm going to be in trouble because I didn't know the phone number.
I have it. I should have put you on the spot. I apologize. That was me.
Jerk.
I've mentioned it several times. I kind of have it memorized, but
Yeah.
We've said it.
No, if you're a regular, we've got range passes. That's our version of membership. So basically, it's a debit card that you load up. Right, you get an extra value for what you buy. So if you're going to come more than 3 times, it's beneficial just to get a pass, and it never expires.
So you guys have the open driving range. You have the covered/heated driving range. I saw a putting green over here to my right.
Yeah, 2 putting greens and a short game area for chipping and pitching.
2 putting greens, one of them over 10,000 square feet. They've got a short game area back over here. They've got a mini golf facility that I am going to whip your ass at here in a little bit.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah, I challenge anybody.
Absolutely.
The mini golf course record, 42.
Oh,
the par is 54.
Okay, so
I will dominate.
Oh no, so we're going to have a show bet. We're going to have a show bet, and me and you, Tim, with Bus and Gerb together, we'll mix up, we'll make pairs, and we'll do like
it's got to be me and you and them, right?
No, no.
No, we'll toss them.
No, hell no.
Are we going to pull numbers out of a hat?
No,
What are we talking about here?
No, this is not. That would not be fair. That would not be fair. We're going to mix in couple of these pros with us, and I don't know. We'll come up with something.
I still like the me and you against them better.
So you want to get your
Let's
butt
go.
whipped.
I'm ready.
I feel like, dude, I told you, I dominate at putting on carpet that's on concrete.
That's right. True roll.
And we got the whole Talladega banking thing going on over there.
That's right.
It does, yeah. It would impress. Yeah, it would impress Mr. French with the banking.
Oh, Mr. Bill France.
Not selling them on it though.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he wants. He saw me putt. I don't think he wants any part of me on the.
I know how I putt. That's what I'm saying.
That's right. It's just confidence.
So the mini little golf course over there. It's a par 3.
Well, it's 3 and 4s.
Yeah,
and
I was going to
twos.
say I saw par 4.
54 at 18 holes.
Wow,
it's different.
Right here on site too. So bring
Right
the kids
here.
out if you want to do some real putt.
Yeah,
just been renovated as of late.
The
Bus put in quite a bit of money and renovated the place, and it's awesome, man.
We did.
It's awesome.
Yeah, events, birthday parties. We've had 3 of them just in the last couple of weeks, so it's exciting.
Maybe we need to have a wedding out here.
That'd be something.
I don't need to have another wedding. I've had enough of those.
Jeez. You've had one more than me.
Shut up.
And that is 3 too many, sir.
Next.
So, yes, as we mentioned, they offer golf lessons. They have a whole team of instructors.
Yeah, for sure.
That will help you get your golf game where you want it to be. They have an academy. I'm looking at the website here. Juniors, as you mentioned, women.
Yeah, for sure. Beginner golf clinics, and we got all the technology. We have a brand new flight scope. We got K-Vest. We got body track.
I think I was out here.
Yeah, I mean, talk a little bit about some of the technology.
I think I was out here the day that y'all did some of the training on the
flight scope.
On the flight scope.
That's something that's just like what you see on TV. I mean, we can measure almost everything. Just think of it as radar for golf balls. So you can measure everything from launch angle to spin rate.
I need
to
like
impact.
a sonar for my golf ball so I can find it half the
well,
time.
I think it's definitely making golf more enjoyable to watch on TV because we can actually see the shot shapes that the guys hit.
Well,
I mean, you can actually follow it. Right?
We all know that Fox tried to do that back in the day with hockey.
That's right. They sure did. I remember
watch
that.
the puck.
The puck.
The Fox
It
trap.
didn't last too long,
1993. It did not work. But it works on golf, man. And here we are, 25, whatever years later.
Well, I'm consistently amazed with people think they want to try to hit it straight, right? I mean, you go watch the tournament today at Pebble Beach. Those guys are curving the ball 13, 20 feet, each one of them. They're not hitting the straight shot's the hardest shot to hit in golf.
You have to move it. You have to move it both ways to be able to play the right way.
And that's one of my favorite things about watching the majors now, or watching any tournament, is when they do the Fox does the golf flight or the ball flight. They'll tell you the apex.
Yeah.
The distance, speed off the tee,
club head speed.
The apex is huge because it obviously it measures the descent angle after the ball gets up to the top, and then that's how you can fit for wedges and 9 irons and 7 irons. I mean, you want the ball coming in at a certain descent angle for each club.
Well, and it's interesting too when they show that, because you can see the different strategies by the different golfers on the tour. I was watching, I believe, Thursday for round 1 of the U.S. Open. We'll get into a little bit U.S. Open talk here in a little bit, but. It was a par 3. I don't remember what hole it was, but Tiger had an apex, and I don't remember what club he hit, but it was an apex of like 130 feet on like a 202-yard par 3. And then Brooks Koepka came up, and it was only like a 98. Different approaches for the same exact hole, and they both, I think, ended up parring or birdieing. But it's fun to watch the different golfers where their different approaches, their different abilities, and you can actually see it graphically. I mean, it's amazing, the technology.
It is. It really is. I mean, and that just goes back to getting fit. I mean, if you're buying stuff straight off the rack, you're missing it. I mean, you got to take this opportunity when we have these demo days, or come out and see any of our instructors. We'll just fit you properly. It's just so much worth it.
So what you're saying, Buzz, is that
you got the wrong stuff.
I pretty much screwed myself when I bought my last.
So Chris, I don't know if Gerb told you or not, but I played golf with Lance and him and our buddy Gerb, 2 weeks ago now on Saturday?
A couple of weeks ago.
And I showed up with my clubs, who they're, by the way, I believe from 1990.
Dude, I wish you could hear me right now, because
it's about time.
And I was like, man, I've shot a 77 with those clubs before.
Yeah, for sure.
In like 1998. And I was happy with those clubs. I love those clubs. I've never hit anything else.
They belong to his wife.
But they were her grandfather's clubs.
Yeah.
So I was happy with them. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't need new clubs. I know these clubs. These clubs are great. And I walked out. Of course, I hadn't played in 8 years before that day, so I was a little rusty. So it took us about 9 holes when Gerb looks over at me and he goes, you realize you're at a disadvantage before you ever even hit the ball.
So true.
And I was like, yeah, I can imagine golf technology has come a long way.
I mean, I always use, like, if I gave you a telephone pole, right, you could swing it. You just have to adjust to swing it, right? I mean, you could do it,
right?
But why do it when we can fit you to how you're swinging?
You're so correct. So I'm still mad at the fact that I'm not fit right.
Well, it takes an hour. It's worth it.
Do you have an hour of your time to get fit for the right club so you don't have to break them anymore on the course?
Dude, I swung
like our Mr. Patrick Reed at the U.S.
gap
Open.
Wedge,
oh,
dude,
boy, yeah.
Dude, I was 112 yards out. It was a perfect gap wedge. I made a good move on it.
I don't know if you heard the story or not yet, Chris.
No.
And the club went off in my hands. It just, it broke. It broke.
It just broke. It had nothing to do with the fact that he threw it into the ground.
No.
Number 10, yeah.
By the way, he parred the hole.
Oh, really?
He parred the hole.
That's a good par.
Well, I mean, it wasn't online. So
the second incident we had that day is
when
when
he went the right distance. It just wasn't online.
He tried to throw his hybrid 3 into the woods after a bad shot. And by the way, he parred that hole as well.
Wow, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe I need to destroy more clubs.
Well, that was going to say.
So you can get them fixed here.
Yeah, they can get them fixed here.
Yeah, by the way, they do club repair here, too.
Club repair and regripping as well, and reshafting, which we did this morning.
For those of you that are hacks like me.
I've got a brand new gap wedge. It's been reshafted, regripped. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's right. Club fitting, I mean, regripping, anything reshafting. We have a loft and lie machine, so we can check loft and lies. I mean, here's something. So the companies make, they make 56-degree sand wedges, right? And they make 10 million of them, right?
What's your gap wedge?
What's your gap?
52.
52.
Okay. 52 with a 10-degree bounce.
That's fine. You shouldn't have any more than 4 degrees in between your wedges. Just keep that in mind. People go from pitching wedge, which is 45, and they go all the way up to 52. Well, that's too many.
So I got a 52-degree gap and a 56-degree sand.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much at my max. And it's the reason I'm coming out here, because I have never been able to hit a lob wedge.
Oh, really?
Not a lob wedge with any distance.
Now, is it called a lob wedge or a loft wedge? Because I want to say when I was in high school, we called it a loft wedge.
Lob wedge. Yeah.
It's a lob wedge.
But that was a long time ago.
With a B.
Okay.
You have 14 clubs in your bag? I mean,
that's the limit, right? Even I know that.
14.
Probably not. Probably more than that. But nobody checks my stuff because I'm
not on the tour. I'm going to start checking it. What do you have, like 28 clubs in your bag?
No, not 28.
That's why you complain about 15. Not being able to put them back in the bag properly.
That's right. They got to fit.
Well, the bag that I had previously was fine until Mr. Gerber started making fun of my bag, and so I had to go get another one.
He got shamed into getting a new bag.
Oh, well.
Hey, if it works, it works.
I know. I tell you, if you don't,
he's expensive to have as a friend.
Well, he just wants the best for you.
Yeah. He's trying to help you,
for your best interest.
He's trying to make you not look like an idiot on the golf course like me.
I tell you, if you don't have 14 clubs, you got to. You have to. And I would say
I have at least 14 bus.
For people that have 13 or 12, put a scoring club in. So I'm talking any sort of wedge.
I have at least 14.
Does an umbrella count?
No, that doesn't count.
Okay, all right, good. I'm good then.
That's right.
We are at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. You're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast. We've got Mr. Chris Bussell, the GM of the facility here. We're talking about the latest technology that they have to offer you. The flight scope, the body track measure mat. They've got the K-Vest. Dude, they got everything you need to come out and help you get your golf game where you want it to be.
They've got a dude inside that can buff you up and make you.
Yes, they have a complete golf fitness facility that we're going to get into a little bit with Mr. Chris Ownbey, who runs that and who will help you get fit. And I'm very interested to talk to him about the difference between just getting fit and getting golf fit, because I know there's differences. Chris, do you have anything else to add about the facility here, man? We really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much for being here. This is great. Come see us. Like I said, in Carrollton, on Trinity Mills between Marsh and Midway, open 364 days. Open till 10 p.m. every day.
But not open Christmas, so don't try it.
Really, you can't be open Christmas.
Take one day off.
You can't be open Christmas.
We just get one day off, and that's it.
Come on, Buzz.
All right, Chris, man, I appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much, brother.
Awesome.
Yep, appreciate you. All right, Mr. Chris Bussell, the general manager of the Highland Performance Golf Highland Performance Golf Center.
There you go.
They also have a fitness center, by the way. So we're going to talk to also Mr. John Gerber, who's one of the instructors out here, and we're going to talk a little bit about some golf fitness for you from Mr. Chris Ownbey, who runs the fitness center here. So moving along, we need to give some apologies, as we do often in our show. Lord. Apologies and corrections.
This may take a while. Y'all buckle up.
It's not going to take very long. We don't have that much. And I just realized a huge mistake that I made by taping my run sheet over here, because I feel very awkward looking at it now. But this is not blowing in the wind. So the first apology that we need as a show to make, as Lance bounces a tape ball off of my head, you need to apologize for that, sir.
Nope.
Last week, for episode 15, if you heard, I may have overdrank just a little bit.
No.
The entire day leading up to the show.
No. That never happens.
Oh, Lord. I talked about our fun pool friend day episode that we had with some of Lauren's, my wife's friends.
We had a private conversation about that as well.
Drank an entire bottle of vodka and then moved on to the bourbon before I came home and drank beer for the show. So I was a little off my game, although I will say after listening to it, it was a little, it was good. It was a good episode, but I was a little looser than I needed to be, so I had to apologize to Lance for that. I also have to apologize that because of that episode, I could not find the big red button
Big red.
that I always hit when he introduces himself. I believe I gave you the, my God, that's impressive drop.
Well, hey, you know what? Sometimes the ladies like that.
Again, my fault.
Sometimes the ladies like that.
And then finally, and I don't know if Lance remembers this or if he even saw it on the run sheet, I have to apologize to Lance personally, because when he brought up his sainted daughter, Caitlin, on the air, I may have thrown out a, "What's up?"
How you doing?
How you doing? Lance's daughter is she's not ugly.
As my mother off limits.
But she's the same age as my oldest daughter, so it was a little awkward.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
So I had to apologize for that. So corrections, kind of along the same lines. By the way, Joy from Colorado is not Lance's cousin. It's his friend. His cousin was Steve that he mentioned. And my favorite correction for this episode was the FAA and the FFA do not control interstate communications. Woo! That would be the FCC.
I hope our PA doesn't fall over.
I may have gotten all of those things confused. But of course it's the FCC that everyone hates, and no one likes them. Moving into who needs a hug for this week. Lance, do you need a hug?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
No, I'm good.
Well, you know what?
I'm a hugger, but I don't need a hug.
Tim needs a hug because of everything I just described based on the last episode.
I got you.
I apologize for all of that.
You my boy.
And I would also like to offer a hug to the entire Golden State Warriors roster.
Bump, bump, boom.
Because, hey, idiots, your dynasty is over. Golden State loses to the Toronto Raptors in 6. Didn't even go 7.
No.
I would like to offer a special hug to Mr. Kevin Durant.
I probably need to give a hug to Tim at the Horny Toad because I told him to put all of his money on Golden State because they were going to come back. Yeah.
They may never have us out there again then.
Yeah.
That is all on you, sir.
My bad, Tim.
So special hugs in that regard to Kevin Durant.
I did put my money where my mouth was.
Why, you bet too?
Yes, I did.
Is that why I had to bring you here because your truck was repossessed?
No, truck was not repossessed.
Okay. Well, I thought I saw it in the driveway.
Just out of gas, and I mean, I don't have the money to put gas
Can't put gas in it because he had to pay off those gambling debts. Special hugs for Mr. Kevin Durant, who blew out his Achilles, and I hope you saw that video, the slow-mo video that was isolated on the back of his right leg, because that was something to watch. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
That was something that looked painful. So Kevin Durant needs a hug. He is going to miss most likely all of next season, which throws his entire free agency into question. He was definitely the number one free agent if he opted out, which everyone thought that he would. But now, who knows? He may get more money staying with Golden State. Right now, I wouldn't. No.
I mean, if I'm him, I'm opting in.
You got $30 million guaranteed if you stay.
I'm gonna get paid $30 million and sit there on the bench and wave at people.
Yeah, and you're not going to play, and you're still getting the guaranteed money. You will rehab and make even more money as a full free agent the next season. Also, Mr. Klay Thompson, who was rumored to come to the Mavs next season, blew out an ACL. He is also done most likely for most of next season. Might be back in time for the playoffs.
I have seen
come April, June.
I have seen tweets to where he has said that he will definitely re-sign with.
Yeah, he has no choice
with the Warriors.
He has no choice because no one will sign. He is not Kevin Durant. No one will sign him as a free agent, knowing that he will be gone the majority of the year.
Those of us that as Mavs fans can just stop dreaming about that. He will not be here next year.
So the next hug goes out to a pro golfer playing in this week's U.S. Open, who I cannot pronounce his name. And we actually had plans to consult with one of the pros here to find out how to pronounce his name.
I actually did go in and talk to him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you get it? What's the pronunciation here?
I don't know. Beauregard?
So we're going to call him Mr. Lucas Beauregard.
No.
It's the American pronunciation. Is it Beauregard?
Beauregard.
Beauregard. All right. I believe he is a Danish golfer. He holed on Thursday on number 18 an 11 on the par 5 18.
You think you could do any better?
Yeah.
Don't give me any shit.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know why? Because my first 2 shots would not go in the water, and then I would not overshoot the green on my seventh shot.
You'd have pulled an 8-iron out and put it in the fairway.
Dude, I'd have hit my 4 like I did the other day, shot it 180 yards, pulled out my 4 again, shot it another. I'd have been on the green in 4, and I would have 3-putted for a 7. I would not have gotten an 11. So, yes, I think I would have beat that. What about you?
Well, I would hope I would make an 11, but I'm not going to say that I'm not going to make an 11.
So no promises.
No,
is what you're saying.
We'll make no guarantees.
Also, we need to give a special hug to Mr. Patrick Reed.
Poor old Patrick Reed.
Who pulled a lance on number 18. That was yesterday, right?
No, yes, it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. He went into 18 at even par, and the cut line was at 2 over, and he made double bogey, so he made the cut, but he snapped his wedge. He snapped his probably his lob wedge. Snapped that over his knee. It did not happen like mine did. So do not put me in the same category as Mr. Patrick Reed.
No, so he was about 10 yards.
In my family,
I don't know, or so 8 to 10 yards off the green in the. I don't know, what do you call that? Is that the rough in between the? In between the sand trap and the green.
A lot of rough.
A lot of rough. Pulled out what we think was his loft wedge and didn't make it back to. It's a loft wedge.
It's a lob wedge.
Dang it.
It's a B.
I hate technology. And did not make it to the green. Looked for about a second. Looked at his caddy and broke that club over his knee. Walked back to the caddy, threw the club on the ground, by the way, next to the bag. Looked at the caddy. The caddy pulls out the next club. And by the way,
his caddy is his brother-in-law. Is that correct, Johnny? His brother-in-law, Patrick Reed.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I was about to say special shout out to this caddy who maintained his composure and was cool as the other side of the pillow.
He knew that. He knew it was
pulled
coming.
out that other club and just handed it right to him.
Yeah. As soon as it happened, he just pulled it out and handed it to him.
That was awesome. So special hugs to Patrick Reed. I'm not going to say I've never broken a club on the course, but I've never done it over my knee.
No, I've never broke one over my knee.
And then special shout out. We have a special football shout out, and we're only bringing this up because
this dude does not need a hug. He needs a Jimmy kick.
Well, Lance is a fan of Lamar Jackson,
quarterback
of the Baltimore Ravens.
I thought we were talking about Winslow.
No, I'm not. No, we're pushing that back. No. I don't have. If you look at the run sheet that I made for you.
Well, I mean, you know how I run this show.
I do. You don't look.
Right.
So Mr. Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, who was a Heisman winner at Louisville.
Having a rough time in camp.
Had a rough time in the league last year. The most inaccurate quarterback of all time. Kind of looked clueless out there towards the end of the season. Yet Mr. John Harbaugh refused to put Joe Flacco back in. And now we know why. It's because Joe was traded to Denver. They had no intentions of bringing back Joe Flacco. But Lamar Jackson's been in mini camps. And by all reports, and by the way, these are reports from the beat writers for the Ravens, whose job it is to prop up the team and make them sound good for the rest of the national media. The best...
Whatever happened to guys like Mr. Galloway?
Well, they got old and retired.
I just don't understand this game anymore.
So the biggest props for Lamar Jackson so far in mini camps were from the beat writers when during 7-on-7 drills they said, oh, he threw a pretty touchdown pass.
Followed up by 3 interceptions.
In 7-on-7 drills. So things are going horribly wrong for John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens as they try to transition into their young quarterback, Lamar Jackson. So, by the way, all of you Dallas Cowboys fans, all of you Dak Prescott haters, I want you to look at this story and follow it because this is where we could be if Dak Prescott was not a serviceable NFL quarterback, which of course he is, and he will get paid. We're going to talk about that later as well. So Lamar Jackson, here's a big hug from the show to you. And of course Earl Thomas, their newest acquisition in the offseason at safety.
He's not a Cowboy.
Not a Cowboy. He's a Raven because he wanted $14 million a year.
Would be the highest paid safety in the world.
He can have it at the age of 31. Of course, he's spinning this that, Lamar Jackson is on his way to stardom. He's a star in the making. Well, Earl Thomas, I cannot wait for that to happen because it won't. Lamar Jackson will not be in the league in 3 years. So have fun with that, Baltimore Ravens.
So you telling me that this is a who am I thinking about? We got a starter kit for
Vince Young starter kit was what I told you.
Yes. So
because
is that what you're telling me again?
Yes, all of the reports are that he does not understand the playbook. They have dumbed down the playbook this year. Now, this is not all on Lamar Jackson, but apparently they changed the playbook, and no one told Lamar Jackson. No one showed him the new
Jackson
playbook.
Would know if you looked at the damn playbook.
I don't know if he knows how to turn on his iPad, but he does not know the new playbook. Apparently,
does he make enough to own a playbook?
Sure he does.
iPad?
I do not know what his contract is, but he can at least afford like a Generation 2, right? For $80 on eBay or something.
I've got one. I'll sell it to him. I may give it to him to help the kid out.
Why? Why do you want to help out Lamar Jackson?
Because, I feel bad for the guy because he's going to make a jerk out of himself.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad, too, because he was a high draft pick, and he was really good in college, won the Heisman.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
By the way, do you remember that was our very first apologies and corrections?
I'm glad you said that because that was the very first apology you had to make because I called him a Heisman Trophy winner, and you called me a liar on the air.
It wasn't just me.
You did.
In episode 1 of this Sainted podcast.
I'm not even going to look at you while
you don't have to.
I'm not.
So yes, Lamar. We had this conversation about somehow we, in a drunken stupor of episode 1, we got hooked on the AFC North. We were talking about Cleveland, and we got on the Lamar Jackson train, and Lance goes, "Oh, but he was a Heisman," and me and about 20 other people in the room at the same time said, "No, he wasn't, you idiot." And then Lance backed down. He's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wasn't. My apologies."
Sometimes it's good to be the smartest cat in the room.
So that is where our regular segment of apologies and corrections actually came from because of that episode, that statement by Lance. Lance started this.
It's Tim's fault.
And now we've got a bunch of listeners who say it is their favorite part of the show, which probably means they tune out right after. We got to put it near the end of the show. So, yes, Mr. Patrick Reed we talked about. We're going to talk about some U.S. Open. You are listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am IndyCar Tim. He is Big Red, Mr. Lance Dorsett.
Big Red. Big Red.
And I had a new segment that I was going to introduce this week. I had it all in my head. For those of you fans of the show, you listen regularly, we have a segment called Short Shots that are things that I don't want to talk about to make full segments about, but things that I just wanted to mention and bring
up.
It's
not short shorts that your wife wanted to call it?
Yes, they're Lance's Khaki Shorts is the name of this segment. So, normally the first thing we talk about is the Texas Rangers. We do kind of a week in review. So I was like, you know what? Let's just make the Rangers talk our its own episode. And I was going to call it This Week in Texas Rangers. And then I was going to just do the acronym TWITR. And I was like, oh, yeah, we'll just call it Twitter.
Well, that's taken.
And then I remembered, there's also a social media platform called Twitter. So that might confuse people. So we're not going to call it that, but we're going to call it Texas Rangers Twitter.
I'm surprised it didn't confuse you.
And again, I see a whole problem with me putting my run sheet on the wall next to me. If anybody on camera wonders what I'm looking at.
It was such a great idea when
you
did it.
It's not blowing anywhere.
Well, I had to tape mine to my laptop.
Well, I taped mine to the table and it blew away anyway. So, Drunk Sports Podtars, Drunk Dudes and Dolls, if you're a Texas Rangers fan, you're pretty happy right now, aren't you? I hope.
Yes, I'm happy. If you're asking me.
Mr. Chris Woodward has gotten this team better than anyone imagined. They're currently, and this as of last night, because I put this run sheet together at about 1 a.m. this morning. Beat the Cincinnati Reds 7-1 last night. Cincinnati's not a great team. They're in the National League. But, hey, by the way, our starting pitcher, Jesse Chavez, got a hit in the game. They're in the National League Park. There is no designated hitter.
No designated hitter.
By the way, Mr. Jesse Chavez in the American League for the
Cheers
Texas
to
Rangers,
you, brother.
The first pitcher of 2019 to get a hit. Not just in the American League, in both leagues.
Well, cheers to you, brother.
So that should be a freaking battle cry to get rid of the dang designated, or put the designated hitter in the National League because pitchers can't hit. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see it. It's futility.
Dude, I like his socks.
No one can see his socks on camera right now.
Stars and Stripes socks. I need those.
The Texas Rangers are currently 37-32. They're 9 games back of Houston. So while the Texas Rangers are hot, they are gaining 0 ground on the freaking Houston Disastros, which I'm about tired of. This point last week, they were 34-30. 9.5 games, so apologies and corrections, they've gained half a game in a week, so that's not going to get the job done.
They're still in the wild card spot.
Roogie, they're leading the first wild card spot. Roogie is still struggling. I think he's batting now 179. He's kind of got on a hot streak and I refer to it as a hot streak for him.
That sounds like my bank account.
By the way, he hit a grand slam in that 7-1 win over Cincinnati yesterday.
Blind hog finds an acorn.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
You got that right.
Team leaders this week, or for the season after this week, are Doubles Andrus, who leads batting average at 308 and stolen bases at 14. Mr. Shin Soo Choo leads the team.
Do anything?
Yes, he leads the team in runs scored at 47.
And that's fine, but I mean, how many millions of dollars are we paying that dude, and he does nothing but swing the bat?
I mean, he's batting like 280?
I am so ready for his contract to be over. And Sinshu, if you would like to come on and debate this, we can. But, brother,
you can have a translator.
Don't do jack squat for this team.
See, I disagree.
But swing the bat.
I disagree.
Come on.
He contributes. He may not be worth what he's making, but he is a vital part of this team. Because of the position that he plays.
Designated hitter?
Outfielder.
He's a designated hitter, Tim.
Sometimes he fills in.
He's a designated hitter.
He's an overpaid designated hitter, then.
It's way overpaid.
Most of them are.
Well, we could have a better one.
I see where you're coming from. And it was a poor signing by John Daniels. I think everybody will. That contract was no good.
I don't know that it was poor at the time, but he got poor quick.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I would not say that he is not valuable to the team because he is contributing right now. He leads the team in runs scored. Joey Gallo, who hasn't played since June 1st, still leads the team with 17 home runs.
Is he on like hospice or something?
Dude, he may be done for his career. No, I'm just kidding. He should be back. What was it, a hamstring? I don't even know what he was. This guy's wearing a Texas Rangers shirt. What's wrong with Joey Gallo right now? Wrist, that's what it was.
Wrist.
See, wrist, hamstring, they're very closely related.
Well, it's a good thing that he's not Kellen Winslow Jr. because if his wrist was...
Oh, God.
No?
All right, fine.
Can't go there?
I wasn't going to.
We can't go there. We can't go there. It's a good thing that Kellen Winslow never had a wrist issue because... Well, it probably would be a good thing if Kellen Winslow had a wrist issue.
No, he would just change hands.
He would not be in...
He would change
court.
hands. That's all he would do is change hands. Are you looking at Facebook comments? Are you even watching that?
I can't.
I can't either.
Hang on.
Oh, Stacy's watching apparently.
Oh, Lord. Sorry,
Markel. Adam Stockton.
I don't have my readers on. I got my
Andrew
sunglasses
Elliott,
on.
No More Weddings. Jared Belcher, my buddy. Hey, Jared, what's up? Andrew Elliott again. This guy, I don't know, Sakib Afkabafawa.
Stop.
That's what his name is. I don't know who he is.
Dude, just don't try to pronounce people's names that you don't know because you're not good at it.
Yes, everybody watching on Facebook, we love that you're here. We're just having issues.
I wish I could see the comments.
Didn't you bring your tablet? Get your tablet back out.
Do you think the tablet's going to help any?
It should.
I don't have arms.
Why can't you see comments right there?
I don't have arms long enough.
Oh, God. Lance doesn't have his readers.
Damn it.
So, yes, Texas Rangers, onward and upward. Dude, we just need Houston to have a bad week. We could gain about 4 games. We'd be good. Well, I would be happy with that.
It won't happen because they've got Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, and he's an awesome executive. Who was it? Somebody on Facebook challenged me.
Who got rid of him?
Yeah, somebody on Facebook challenged me that he was just a figurehead here.
Yeah.
And that John Daniels was the brains. Well, you know what? I brought up the fact that the Rangers were awesome when he was here. He butted heads with John Daniels. Goes to Houston, who was in the toilet baseball-wise, and immediately they become contenders and win a World Series as soon as he moved there. So, really? Figurehead? Is that the definition of a figurehead for you?
He's the one that got rid of Hicks. Nolan Ryan got rid of Hicks.
Well, Tom Hicks needed to go.
But yes, absolutely he needed to go. But Nolan Ryan got rid of Hicks, which was the greatest thing to ever happen in DFW sports history.
I hate the fact that the Stars won a Stanley Cup under Hicks because he did not deserve it as an owner.
No, hell no.
But, hey, we never got a World Series under Hicks. Thank God, because he would have stayed. I don't even know where he is. Is he even alive anymore?
Shh.
Or is he breaking up other businesses down in Austin?
Putting him on,
He's from Austin. I hate him.
We're not
Giga Maggies.
We're not putting him in a Deadpool. No.
The Deadpool. All right. Were we going to take a swing? Oh God.
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
We're going to break the show up because we're here for at least a couple hours. We're going to do some things and look at some stuff.
And I'm sure these guys that are working on these sticks would like a break because they're tired of hearing us talk.
So what we're going to do is, for those of you listening to the podcast, we're going to pause it and bring it up, and then I'll splice it all together. So what you're going to hear is going to sound just like a commercial break.
You can stay on Facebook Live. We're going to turn the camera around. You can watch some swings, and you can watch some guys hit some balls.
And we're going to walk around, take a bathroom break, drink a little bit more beer, maybe have a snack. So the Facebook Live feed will continue. Please do not tune out. Just hang out with us. We'll be back probably, 15, 20 minutes, but we want you guys to look at demo days out here at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. We're going to come back on with Mr. John Gerber, one of the teaching pros out here, and we're also going to talk to Mr. Chris Ownbey, who is one of the fitness instructors out here.
And the fitness instructor.
I'm sorry, he owns the fitness facility that's out here. Yes, that is all him. We can't wait to talk to him. If you're a golf fan, if you're a golfer, you're going to want to listen to what he's got to say and how he can help. We are the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim. He is Big Red, Mr. Lance Dorsett.
Big Red.
And we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back right after this.
Go Green, SolarScreens.com. Save money and energy with a home improvement that pays for itself. Check out Go Green, SolarScreens.com. Go Green, SolarScreens.com. Save some green and keep out the heat from your home's windows. Go Green, SolarScreens.com. Go Green, SolarScreens.com. Save energy with custom solar screens from Go Green, SolarScreens.com.
For the love of all that is holy, we can't come in and out of a break properly. We're trying very hard to come out of a break. Let's just start the song in the middle of the song.
It's a great song.
The beginning of it is a great song.
Well, I can start it over.
You probably should.
Well, we'll start over at the next break.
There's going to be another one?
Maybe.
All right. Well, we're all good with that. You are listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim, along with my favorite partner in the whole world,
Big Red, baby.
Mr. Big Red Baby himself.
Big Red.
We are live still from the Highlands Performance Golf Center here in Carrollton, Texas. 2538 Golden Bear Drive. 972-733-4111. On the web at golfcenteratthehighlands.com. We talked a little bit earlier with Mr. Chris Bussell, the GM of this fine facility.
The bus.
He talked a little bit about the facility itself. We have another very special guest on with us right now, Mr. John Gerber, who is one of the fine PGA teaching professionals out here. Mr. John, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great, guys. Always good to be with you again. And beautiful day here, and watching some good golf swings. And it's a little breezy out, but the weather's pretty good.
Yeah, so today would not be the greatest day to be on the course, right?
Well,
that little man right there's got a poke.
If you play all the holes and all the holes are downwind, it'd be all right.
Yes, we are stationed right behind. If you're watching us live on Facebook right now, we're stationed right behind the driving range, and we've got a little kid here that knows what he's doing, man.
That little man right there has got a swing.
A lot of talent out here. A lot of talent for sure.
So it's been fun to watch everybody swinging. We are live at demo days. We've got Callaway, Mizuno, TaylorMade, Cobra King.
Cobra.
How do you say the last one right there?
It's not Cobra Kai like from the Karate Kid.
That's why I usually let you say that. And what's the last one? I'll let you pronounce that.
Srixon.
That was pretty good.
All right. So you can come out today until 2 o'clock. Gives you 30 more minutes to get out here and swing some clubs before you buy them. Hit some balls. See what you like.
I hit a couple.
You hit a couple. You hit a lot better than I did. I hit a couple as well, and mine were not nearly as pretty as yours. I probably hit 25 shots, and maybe 4 of them were acceptable.
I've got a teacher.
You do have a teacher. Mr. John Gerber is one of the teaching pros out here. He will help you get your golf game where you want it to be. And John, again, thanks for having us out here. Normally you guys hear John on the phone, but we are happy to have him live with us right now.
Live and in person.
Always a pleasure. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do out here as a teaching pro?
Yeah, myself and 7 other PGA golf professionals here. We have a full realm of golf instruction, fitness instruction, chipping and practice facilities.
And there goes the camera.
That's not good. Hang on.
You're good, John.
Again, guys, it's breezy. So
we didn't run into this before.
I think Chris Bussell really summed everything up here in the first couple segments. Is we're a full range of practice facility. So anything you need to get worked on your game, whether it's instruction, fitness, short game, chipping, putting, we have it all out here. So come on out, spend a couple hours, and say hello when you come in, and give us a chat, and we'd love to see you out here.
So you guys will teach anybody from somebody that's never swung a club before to a guy who thinks he's ready to go on tour, correct?
We have a lot of junior camps. We have a lot of beginner camps, Get Golf Ready, PGA program structured by the PGA, along with individual lessons, group lessons. If you love the game of golf and you have some interest to get better or want to get started, definitely come out and see us. This is the place to be.
So I've been playing since I was 13 on and off. I started at 13. I played high school basketball, blew my knee out. My brother played golf. He was just starting. He said, "Hey, man, come play golf with me and after your knee heals." So that's how I was introduced to the game. I started playing in high school. Brand new high school in the Colony, 1987. The first year it was open, they needed some people on the basketball team, and I said, "Can't help you." So then the golf coach came to me and said, "Hey, man, I heard you play golf. Are you any good?" I said, "No, I'm terrible." He said, "Well, then I need you. We need bodies." And that's how I made the golf team. There was literally no tryout. So by junior year, I was our B golfer, had a handicap of about 10. By senior year, I was down to a handicap of about 4.
Ah, that's good.
And I enjoyed it. We played all the time. I quit playing after high school, got married at 20, started playing golf again with my father-in-law at the time. And, was shooting about 80 constantly or consistently, had no problem. And then I didn't play again for about, 10 years. Was shooting 99, got fed up because I wasn't good anymore, and then started playing again recently as of, 3 weeks ago with you guys. My first time in 8 years, and it was embarrassing. I apologize again.
Oh, there's no embarrassment. We had a great time, and I think definitely we have to upgrade your technology and your sticks there. But
we did speak about that with Buzz.
Yes.
We did speak about that.
Half of the game now is I like to see athletes, and I think the game's changed a lot. That the athletes are starting to play golf, and you can mold some of those people that played other sports. I was always an advocate. I played a lot of sports growing up, and I was always, in the teaching room, I always want to see people who are athletes in good motion and kind of mold them from there and find out what they can and can't do. So, again, we talked about it before. The game's changed a lot when it comes to that.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of Craig Stadlers and John Daly's out there anymore, which is my body type, by the way.
Well, we got somebody inside. We can fix that real quick.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to Mr. Chris Ownbey, who is the golf fitness instructor here, a little bit about all of that.
I can't wait to talk to him.
It does seem like on the tour,
maybe I can lose about 5 pounds while we're sitting here on the air just talking to him.
it's not hot enough.
Maybe he's got magic.
Probably.
Maybe he does some voodoo stuff.
So, it looks like the guys that we see on the tour these days are more fit. You got your Brooks Koepka and your Tiger's.
Is that the first name you said? You know how my feelings are. Kept you here. We're gonna start that already.
When I think of a bodybuilder golfer, I think of Brooks. So my apologies.
No. Tiger was the original.
He was.
Tiger was the original.
But
well, not true. Gary Player was kind of the original, right?
Was he really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
He was always the biggest advocate of fitness.
Who was the guy that does all the juicing commercials now? The old fitness guy. I can't remember his name.
Jack LaLanne?
Yeah, Jack LaLanne.
I don't think he played golf.
He did not. But I believe that's where I think that's where Mr. Player came.
There was a guy actually before Tiger that a lot of people may know that was really in the fitness. Is that Bill Glasson? He's kind of this area. He might be an Oklahoma guy.
Yeah.
He was
Oklahoma State Cowboy.
Yeah, he was in the fitness and he was. I'm not saying he was the one before Tiger, but it was pretty good. But he kind of took it to a different level, and the people were watching golfers. He was kind of the first one that you could actually watch and see that his body type was a lot different than most of the people playing.
Very lean. Yeah. So anyway,
well, good. Yeah. So you guys offer programs like I mentioned, from the beginner to the guy who thinks he's the next Tiger. women, children, kids, first starting out. Like I said, we've seen kids out here. Man, they've got some good swings too. I wish I'd have started that young.
That young man right there is putting it on the ball. I'm telling you.
No, he's
watch this.
He's got a great swing.
Watch this.
That's a graphite shaft, right?
Yeah, but watch this move.
So he's got a stance. He's got a perfect stance. That wasn't the best shot, Lance. Thanks for bringing that out. But
it just goes to show, just get them out here. Let them have fun. Kids coming up these days, and I see a lot of parents, put a lot of pressure on the kids, especially in the golf, and let them be kids. Let them have fun.
Everybody wants to be Earl Woods.
I believe I made mention of that one of the first times we had you on, before we had you on, that let the kids be kids, but if you want the kids to have fun, let them hit the ball. If you want the kids to learn the game, bring them to somebody that knows the game. Don't try to teach them the way you were taught. Let a pro teach them. Let them learn the right move at the right time.
Well, yeah, kids are going to be more interested in the game and continue to progress in the game and keep it for a long time if they enjoy it. Yep. If they don't enjoy it,
right,
what's the point? I mean, do some kids, do it to please their parents or pressure? If they're not enjoying it, no matter what, their attention span is very small anyways.
If you don't get any better at it, then you're not having any fun.
But that's with anybody. I mean, if you're not doing something you don't enjoy, I mean, some of us, some people have to, but if you don't enjoy it, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to continue with it.
Right.
So, John, you're the perfect instructor. You've taught millions of people how to play golf. What can you do for Tiger right now as he is struggling to...
Is he struggling?
I think he's struggling. Struggling with a short game, it looks like to me, a little bit. So that's a terrible segue, but let's segue into the U.S. Open right now. We're in the middle of round 3. Well, not the middle for us. It's the middle of the day, but over there, they're just now getting kicked off for round 3.
They're at noon. Coming up on noon.
No, they're coming up on 11.
2 hours difference.
Yeah, 2 hours difference. It's 11:38.
They're coming up on noon.
Apologies and corrections for next week. Lance doesn't know time zones. We talked a little bit about, before we came back on the air, Mr. John Gerber was talking a little bit about Jordan Spieth, who's at -1. We were looking at his tee time. He tees off at 12:22. I'm assuming that's local time.
Yes.
So we're coming up. Yeah, so he's got a little ways to go. So what's the U.S. Open is after the Masters, my second favorite major. I love course conditions. They make it hard. I love that they're at Pebble Beach this week. So historic. What's your take on what's going on this weekend?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be out at Pebble a lot. Played that golf course a lot in leisure scenarios and in tournament conditions. Obviously, for a lot of people, think it's probably the most perfect place to play a U.S. Open. You can get some inclement weather. The golf course sets up. They can make it, and they have the resources, like most do, to make it the way they want it. Adding Pebble to a U.S. Open, I think that the U.S. Open, everyone is going to have one marginal round. The 4 rounds are going to have one Now, how high the marginal round is going to be dependent on if you shoot yourself out of the golf tournament. One of my picks this week was Ricky Fowler, but his marginal round was 77, and
that'll get you out really quick.
He has a tendency to do that, and as great of a player as he is, that's kind of his MO.
Yep.
What can you do in your round when you're not playing well in your marginal round? Is it even par? Is it 1 over, 1 under, or is it 5 over, 6 over? So, the U.S. Open, especially Saturday and Sunday, I think 10 under is going to win the golf tournament, even though Gary Woodland's at 9. I think that it's just really going to play difficult, and I don't really see anybody shooting 3 or 4 or 5 under in the next 2 days to either catch Gary Woodland or get to 10. I think 10's the number, and I think those guys are looking at 10 under as they start their rounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that breeze is blowing out there like it's blowing here, then that will change the face of the U.S. Open quick.
And I've been in those conditions where it's been brutal. Like example, on the 7th hole, it's 108 yards, and I played that that hole in a golf tournament, I've had to hit 4-iron.
Jeez.
And there's other times I could throw it on.
That'd be 2 4-irons for me.
So
we've got Gary Woodland in the lead at 9 under right now. Has yet to tee off today. Justin Rose at -7. Yet to they tee off together at 2:45 local time. And then we've got Tiger tied for 47th right now.
Well, he's still in it. I mean,
well he's still in it.
He's one over for the day, 1 over for the tournament. So
I don't think you can get anything outside 2-3 under. I don't think they can catch him. Like I said, because if 10 is a number, if these guys are looking at a number for the next 2 days. You know, I don't see 4, 5, 6 under in 2 days. Somebody shooting at it combined for 2 days. I just don't see it.
And then the aforementioned Ricky Fowler right now is at 2 under.
That's an awful big word.
Aforementioned. I can only say it after what we've had to drink today. So
my 4 picks are they made the cut. I hedged a little bit.
So let's go back. What were the 4 picks for everybody?
I had Xander Schauffele,
yep,
Ricky Fowler, Brandt Snedeker, and Jordan Spieth.
All right. Schauffele's at 3 under. Fowler's at 2 under.
Jordan's
Spieth,
at
as
1
we
under.
mentioned, was at 1 under.
And Brandt Snedeker is at 2 over on the day through 11 and even for the tournament.
2 under for the day. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was 2 over. He started at 2 over. So he's 2 under for the day, and I think it's maybe the best.
Well, I don't have my readers on, so it's kind of hard for me to read this.
Yeah, he started 2 over. I think he's 2 under. I think that's
Old
the best.
fart.
I think that's the best score right now on the golf course. So.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I mean, I only have a page at a time, but I think you're right. So yes, things are going as you sort of said they would, as like it's been all year for
My
you.
track record's been pretty good with you guys since I've been on.
Yes, it has.
We're talking for the last. We've had 3 preview shows and my preview post, and you've had 2 winners of those 3.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had Kevin Nod Colonial, and I had Patrick Cantley at Murphy.
Cantley. Well,
Cantley's in the mix, isn't he?
I should be shot in the face for not putting money.
Please don't.
Whenever you said Cantley, and not because Muirfield, between you and Buss, if the course is not known between you and Buss at Muirfield, and it's not Muirfield Valley, it's Muirfield.
Are we sure?
Village.
Like, can that be?
No.
Can that be confirmed?
I'm pretty damn sure. I got a man here.
I apologize,
that has played
John.
that more times than I've played.
I profusely apologize.
I got a few calls on that Murfield Valley too. So
just forward them to my voicemail, and I will take those calls for you. I apologize.
He has played that course probably more times than I have played the Plantation in Frisco.
You know, and Pebble's a little that way with Buss and I too. We've played there. I think we added it up the other day. I think between the two of us, we probably played there 60 times. You know, so we both know that golf course really, really well.
I'm ready for a trip.
Yeah, it's the greatest place in the world, like we talked about before, and it's you know, it's just special, and especially to have it open there. It's something.
It's a bucket list.
Pebble Beach?
Yes. I mean, if you're a golfer and Pebble Beach is not on your bucket list, you are not the right kind of golfer.
Well, no, of course it should be.
I mean, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world, and it's so historic with all the opens that have been played out there, all the U.S. amateurs that have been played out there. I mean, it's a place that you need to be if you're a golfer. I mean, you want to be out there and be a part of it. So
the hardest part about Pebble Beach is the first 2 or 3 times you go. It's hard to play golf. You know, because it's so beautiful.
Because you're staring at everything else.
It's just really difficult to play golf.
And the little tiny ass greens they have out there. I mean, it's an old course, and old courses have smaller greens. I'm trying to keep this closed so that you can't get another one. But okay, I won't. Here you go. But yes, I love that track. I love looking at it. I played it so many times on video games. It's dumb, but just because. And what's cool, and little video game segue, I played it enough out there that on video games that I know the shots these guys are hitting. I mean, and it's cool. It's not the real thing, but I know where they're at on the course, and it's fun to watch that way.
I've been lucky enough, again, and I'll never not feel fortunate to say I've played there, or every time I go there. I've played it when it's been 75 degrees and no wind, and I've played it when it snowed. And every time I finished, I always was, this is the greatest place ever.
And all you boys that know me, that played golf with me, if it's in the 50s, I ain't playing. Because it's just
the 1950s?
I'd normally
you weren't alive.
I normally shoot in the 60s, and it's just when the temperature's that way.
I don't think that's entirely accurate.
Temperature, son, temperature.
Oh, not.
Oh, yeah.
The decade. Okay, I gotcha.
You're good. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, you say that. I played district tournaments in high school when it was in the 30s.
That's stupid. And I did
it was
too.
Stupid.
Yeah, and it was cold. And
that was before graphite shafts were invented.
It was no fun.
You hit the ball, I mean, dude, it just goes on, and it was terrible. But
your fingers rattle, and it's no fun. So.
No, and you're so wrapped up in clothes, you can't swing freely. It's just a mess. But yes, well, today would be the greatest day, temperature-wise, to be out on the golf course for us.
As long as the wind wasn't blowing.
John, now that we're halfway through, getting into round 3, are you sticking with your picks?
Well, I like my picks. I like the two. Xander Schauffele had a terrible start yesterday. He had a terrible game. I still think he is a favorite of mine. I'm looking at a couple guys that
I like Xander.
I'm looking at a couple guys that I kind of placed an extra wager on that I think is really solid, has a great demeanor for the U.S. Open.
The ham sandwich and the bologna sandwich that we didn't get on the live feed.
Well, the ham sandwich was the big long shot, and I was going to tell you, but if you're playing in the U.S. Open, there's, you obviously are a good player, and there could be some long shots, but long shots really don't win the U.S. Open,
right?
Especially at Pebble Beach. So that would just been a wasted, whatever amount of money you decided to wager.
Who was that?
What's that?
Who was your ham sandwich?
Jim Furyk.
Well, I mean, you could never bet against the old man. The old man hits the ball straight.
I didn't think he could win, Big Red, but I thought he had a chance to contend. He knows the golf course. He's won a U.S. Open before. This is probably his last shot, or potentially his last U.S. Open. He's going to turn 50 next year. I don't know how much time.
What's wrong with turning 50?
I didn't say there was anything wrong
with turning 50?
I made a simple statement.
So glad I'm so far away from 50.
Shut up, Tim.
So a couple guys. I like Kuchar a little bit.
Cooch?
I think he's played really solid.
Dude, he is 3 under on 18 through 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think he's played well. Another guy, Louis Oosthuizen. I mean, he looks like he's unflappable right now. He's made a few mistakes, but all the mistakes he's made, he's birdied the hole coming right after.
Right.
So,
Did you see his scorecard yesterday?
Oh.
It looked like a roller coaster, man.
Yeah.
I mean, birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey.
Looked like a road map. Yeah. All the numbers on different numbers.
Yeah. The guys on TV called it looked like a zip code. So I mean, he was all over the place. But the dude is smooth, and he's not an American. And I'm sorry, if I got to root for a foreigner to win the U.S. Open, I like Rosie.
I rooted for a foreigner to win the NBA championship. If you want to call the Toronto Raptors foreigners,
shut up. I had my money elsewhere.
I don't think Gary Woodland's battle tested enough, in terms of winning something like this, having a 2-shot lead.
I can see that.
I look at a guy, Justin Rose is definitely a guy, but he has a tendency lately to have one of those bad rounds too, right?
Right.
I mean, I know he's playing well. I know he's striping it well. That golf course fits him. But just something in my gut tells me that he's gonna have a round of 74, 75, and it's not gonna look any different than his first 2 rounds. And that just seems how he plays. He doesn't hit out of play. He hits it solid, but he's putted extremely well, which you have to do in any golf tournament, but especially U.S. Open and Scramble. I just think there's one round that's gonna get away from him, and it's gonna kind of potentially take him out. But again, I think 10's gonna win the golf tournament.
So 10. So 10's our number. But, yes, and
So 10, even though Man, so you're calling for some bad golf the next 2 days.
Well,
I mean, if you look at half the field right now, the 2 under is the best score on the golf course. I'm not looking at exactly what's going on right now, but again, I don't see if Rose shoots 3 under in the next 2 days. I think that's going to be the best for 36 holes, and that gets him to 10 if that's how you feel.
Yep.
I mean, if Gary Woodland, is he going to come back and continue to
We don't
play
know.
well?
We don't know
if
if that marine layer is going to blow in. We don't know if the wind's going to pick up. We don't know what's going to happen. The course played very favorable on Thursday and Friday.
Well, I mean, Gary Woodland's at -9 right now.
Right.
Damn.
Yes.
I got to tune into that the next 2 days.
Again, the weather is going to predict a lot. The weather's there's a bit like Dallas. You could get 4 seasons in one day, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and,
you can.
And you just don't know.
Welcome to Texas.
The California coast. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute. Just like Dallas. All right. We are live at the Highlands Performance Golf Center, the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm Andy Cartim. He is Drunk Big Red. We are with Mr. John Gerber, one of the teaching pros out here, talking U.S. Open. Lance posted some of John's predictions on Wednesday night for the show, and a lot of those predictions are still in play. So things are going well for John. We appreciate John. They've all made the cut, and they're still playing, and they're within reach. So, John, we appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you guys having us out here today. Is there anything else you want to talk about the U.S. Open this weekend before we let you go?
That's it, guys. Let's just let's have a fun watch, and happy Father's Day to you two for sure. And
thank you very much.
Premature. I won't see Big Red or you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go up and see my father actually in Ohio. So
good for you.
I'm looking forward to that. And
y'all going to play at Muirfield Valley?
Oh, I'm going to get these calls again. Here we go. I'm going to get these calls.
Holy hell!
My apapologies, of course.
Always a pleasure to be on with you guys, and you guys have a great show as always. And,
give your dad my best,
sure
and tell him Happy Father's Day. He raised a good one.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Thanks,
hey,
guys.
Go get Chris. We'd like to talk to him too.
All right, for sure. Thanks,
guys. Thanks, sir. That is Mr. John Gerber, one of the teaching pros out here at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. We appreciate him coming on with us. He has been instrumental in our success, our previous shows, helping us get going with what we're doing. And, dude, just a great guy, man. I love, and you introduced me to him. I love that man. He's amazing.
He's one of a kind. He's one of a kind.
And he's going to help me get my golf game, not where I think it should be, where you think it should be. Right? So I can play with you.
Maybe where he thinks it should be.
And not embarrass you when we're out on the golf course or the driving range. Good God, I've hit some embarrassing shots, but it is what it is.
It'll happen.
So, yes, we are, as I mentioned, the Drunk Sports Podcast. We appreciate everybody having us out here at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. We wanted to get into a little bit of necessary things that I didn't really care about, but I feel since they're pertinent to the sports world, we wanted to talk about the NBA Finals. Of course, we mentioned Toronto won because
I don't even want to talk about
we talked about who needs a hug. The entire Golden State Warriors roster needed a hug, most specifically Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. But, of course, the big news was the dynasty is over. Stephanie Curry can be quiet now for at least another year. He can go back to shooting his 74-foot three-pointers. He can go back to shooting his wild shots where he calls a foul every time, even though there's nobody within 5 feet of him.
So you're talking about James Harden now.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on James Harden.
Okay.
So the big news is, though, because of Durant and Thompson, the entire NBA free agency is it's wide open now. Of course, Durant was going to be the big fish. Thompson was one of the little fish. Thompson will re-sign now with Golden State because he will be gone most of the year.
Yep.
Durant is still out. The Lakers still want him, I'm sure.
Durant is an idiot if he doesn't take his option.
He will not take his option. I guarantee you right now.
He will take his option. Yes, he will.
No, he won't.
He will take his $30 million.
Show bet? No, because he will make more somewhere else, even though he will be gone until April.
Name the bet.
The Lakers will pay him $40 to come sit out a year and play the next 3 years after that.
Well, I wasn't including the idiots on the West Coast.
Well, they're one of the teams that he might sign with. You have to include them.
I can't.
So, yes, congratulations to our friends to the north winning their first NBA title. And, of course, our friends to the north did not win an NHL title, but the St. Louis Blues defeated the Boston Bruins in 7 games.
And now I have to live with that for the next 12 months.
And your lovely bride, Stacy Gibbs-Dorset, is here. And I believe that is her family, correct, that lives up in St. Louis?
Yes.
Dude, you are not going to live that down for a long ass time.
I got to be up there in a couple of months. I'm going to hear nothing but the shit.
Well, maybe by then other things will have happened. Are the Cardinals doing well?
Shut up.
Because that's really all they got. Is the arch still there? Can you talk about the arch?
I've been in that. It's pretty cool.
You can't go in it anymore, right?
Why not?
I thought they shut that down.
Well, I was up there.
9/11.
I was up there 2 years ago.
You can go inside of it still?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't go in the Statue of Liberty anymore.
That's stupid.
And you definitely can't go to the top of the Twin Towers anymore.
They need more veterans out there with guns protecting the place.
We need more veterans with guns everywhere protecting every place, in our opinion. So, yes, congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. Congratulations to Kawhi Leonard, who is the #1 free agent on the market.
Dude, was that not a good move?
That looks like the greatest move in NBA history. Toronto trading for him from San Antonio.
I'm sorry,
how dumb
all you
does San
Spurs
Antonio
fans.
look right now, getting rid of him? I know they wanted to get rid of him. He was not a good fit, but
He didn't want to be there.
he didn't want to be in Toronto. He's going to be one and done in Toronto.
That's fine.
He's going to probably move on.
But
to,
he got them exactly what they signed him for.
Yeah,
What they traded for him for.
it is what it is.
Yep.
But you know what? He's going to call the shots. He's going to get whatever money he desires, and he deserves all of it because I won't say single-handedly won the NBA championship for Toronto, but he was most instrumental, as much as Dirk was when the Mavericks won it in 2011. Dirk had role players. There were other people involved, Finley, Terry, Tyson Chandler. But, dude, Kawhi Leonard was the leader of that team. Kawhi Leonard, that team was going nowhere without him coming early in the season. So, you know what? Kudos to the Toronto Raptors. Kudos to the St. Louis Blues, their first ever NHL Stanley Cup, and hopefully their last for a long time. Sorry, Stacy Gibbs-Dorset.
Got him.
Yeah, hockey is a lot more interesting when the Blues aren't good.
Hockey's
Just
a whole lot
saying.
more fun when the Blues aren't good.
I'm just saying.
Especially when you're married to a St. Louis family.
That being said, I believe we have the Mr. Chris
Ownbey.
There's not an S.
Yes.
It's Ownbey, right?
Ownbey.
Yeah, there's no S.
I've been correcting you all day, and
Ownbey, right?
Like Ownbey Stadium.
See? Which doesn't exist anymore.
It says Ownbey Stadium.
My condolences. It is what it is. You got a microphone right in front of you. You're going to have to hold it pretty close to your mouth there. There's no switch. We'll just turn you up here. There he is. Mr. Chris Ownbey is joining us right now from the Highlands Performance Golf Center. He is the fitness instructor here, and he's the one that will somebody like me who can't bend over and touch my toes, who can't perform a correct backswing. He's the guy that will get you where you need to be with your flexibility and your fitness. So, Chris, my biggest question is, I've met fitness people before, but you're a golf fitness instructor. So what's the difference between those two things?
That's a good question. Golf fitness instruction is more of, I'll be the first one to tell you there's not a right way or wrong way to work out, but there's a more effective way to work out for your sport.
Right.
So, my stuff's more about, it's not about the vanity, it's more about the longevity aspect of it. So we do a lot of core, a lot of rotation. And the guys that come to me, the fact they're getting a little bit older, they're losing flexibility, they're losing distance, they're playing with more aches and pains, and Big Rad's holding his arm up like he's one of them. And that's my job. So, my job is to get you into the position that your golf pros want you to get into.
Right.
In a way that's not counterproductive to the golf swing.
So you've got the instructors that tell you need to be more flexible. Your backswing needs to be here. Your stance needs to be here. And for some of us who are aging and hadn't played in a while, we physically can't do that. So you're the guy that we come to that will help us do that, correct?
Exactly. If you're both trying to get positions and you can't physically get into it, you're going to get frustrated. He's going to get frustrated. And so then usually the pro will send them to me.
Right.
So before we get off into that, a little birdie told me that at one time you had a MMA career.
He kind of looks like an MMA guy.
Is that correct?
The older I get, the better I used to be. Yeah.
Well, I keep telling everybody else, you know, it just I'm maybe not as good as I always was, but I'm as good as once.
All right,
as
Toby
ever
Keith.
was.
Good Lord. So is that true, Chris? You were kind of an MMA guy?
My background was
Not kinda.
My background was
Don't humble yourself, son. Just talk.
yes, I had 17 fights.
There's people that maybe he doesn't want to know that millions of people are going to hear this.
Well,
My
millions.
background started off in high school. Of course, I graduated from Plano.
Well, you fought in high school. I mean, who
we
didn't
won
fight?
state back in '87 for
There you
Plano
go.
West.
Perfect.
And then I
Yeah,
went,
because he kind of looks like he'd kick my ass right now if I said the wrong
Well,
thing.
so I'm glad that finally there's somebody sitting within arm's reach of you, almost, that you will say, "Yeah, I'm not going to screw with him." So
No, I will not.
I mean,
No, I will not.
it's
mess
not
with
Daryl
Chris.
Sador. It's
I'd
not
take him.
Darian Hatcher.
I'd kick his ass too.
Bullshit. Okay. Anyway, I'm
Love you
sorry.
guys.
Sorry, Chris. I had to bring that up because I wanted everybody to know that we're not just talking to some dude that has pushed iron, and we have a guy here with us that knows what he's talking about. He knows the work ethic it takes. He knows the diet it takes, and you know, have the fortitude to be the man that you want to be, or be the woman that you want to be.
Be the golfer that you want to be. It's kind of where we're going.
And we're here. So yes, the golfer that you want to be.
So you I also saw that you have a website. What's your website?
it's chrisownbey.com.
And you invite people to come on and come talk to you, show you what they have, and then you're going to help them.
You see
Presumably,
John Gerber out there picking up baskets? That's funny.
Don't they have people for that?
He's about that's most workout. He's about to get hurt.
Yeah.
Don't pull a hammy.
Hey, lift with your legs, not your back.
So these guys, they'll call me, and the first thing I have to do is an assessment, which we call a golf fitness assessment. And it's some tests, and look at their body, and if it needs to be mobile, make sure it's mobile. If it needs to be stable, make sure it's stable.
And if I walked in, you'd say, "Oh shit, we're
I'd
in
say
trouble."
I don't do miracles.
I am
That's
not,
why I didn't even
I am
ask
not
that.
Jesus Christ.
He can't even hit a 2-iron game.
I think Lee Trevino said that once.
He sure did. I just plugged Lee. Thank you.
Oh,
That's
Lee.
what they do, and I'll do the golf fitness assessment, and that's pretty much what drives the program. So it's most people. That's very efficient. They say it's very effective, and it's different than any other fitness. I mean, it's not touch your nose, touch your toes. It's not a gin and tonic workout, man. We got to hit it, get it, quit it.
Right. So it's obviously the fitness, the exercises are built more towards flexibility for the golf swing, towards your golf game, not just getting buff and looking like you do right now.
Rotation, speed, power.
But if
No
you make
pain.
somebody feel better about themselves, and that's what really matters. Is not the golf game. If you make a dude or a doll feel better about themselves, then that's what's really out there. That's what really drives you.
Yeah, it's funny. This demographic, they'll call me to improve their golf game, but really at the end of the day, it's all about longevity. They have the wealth. They got to have their health. They got to keep playing. They're finding themselves they don't have the energy to play anymore, so they have more aches and pains. They're taking less lessons. They're playing less golf, and they worked all their life to get in this position to play golf, and now they physically can't do it.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Man,
It hurts.
That is a perfect scenario that you just described. Like I see that. Just people who have lived their entire lives working hard, putting money away for retirement, and some of them maybe doing physical labor their entire lives, and now that they're retired, they got the money, they want to go play golf, they just can't.
Tim, I tell you, it's not the guys with the physical labor. It's the guys who are pushing pencils all day.
Yeah, who don't ever exercise.
Sitting at the
That
desk,
will
being
kill you
the
more than
desk
being
jockeys.
outside pushing dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, the 7 sins is driving in a car, sitting at your desk, drinking beer.
He's describing us.
He is exactly, dude. That is what we do.
He's describing us. I think he looked behind the table. The quit looking. God,
he's judging us right now.
Damn it, Chris! Quit looking behind the table.
So much judgment happening right now.
I do have Dunlap disease.
Dunlap disease.
Yep.
Confirmation bias.
Yes.
Confirmation by a pro.
That is who we are. Mr. Chris Ownbey, who is here with us, who runs the fitness facility of the Highlands Performance Golf Center. He helps you with your flexibility, with your range of motion, with your balance, with everything that it takes for you.
I bet I saw a bike in there. I bet he'd put you on a bike and get your
spin
cardio.
class.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not going to be a spin class.
Oh.
But he'd yell at you while you're doing it.
All right. Well, what's that Peloton that you pay $4,000 for the bike and then another $80 a month for someone to yell at you on the TV screen?
I don't know. We could get Basicon and tell you about it.
Pretty sure Chris would just do that right in your face live in person.
No, actually, all this morning, I just put the U.S. Open on. They watched it while they rode the bike.
Well, see, I can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. All right, Chris. Anything else you want to plug for what you do here?
No. I appreciate y'all and enjoy the station, enjoy the podcast. And,
thanks, brother.
Chris, thanks so much for coming on, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for popping on with us.
All right, Red Heart, Tim.
Mr. Chris Ownbey.
The dude.
The dude. And if you saw him in person, if you're looking on camera, he is the dude. Good Lord, my brother.
Don't, Tim, I'm glad you didn't say anything stupid.
No, I'm not going to challenge that.
Because I would have backed this chair up, and I wouldn't even back the chair up. I just gotten up and walked away.
I would like to continue this podcast for a while.
I mean, I kind of like having you as a partner, and you would have been dead. So
no, man, he is the man. That dude is built. That dude knows what he is doing. So everybody, if you're in the area, if you're interested in some golf fitness, like me, I'm more interested in fitness pizza in my mouth. But if you're interested in golf fitness, fitness cheeseburger in my mouth, come out here and talk to Chris Ownbey. He runs as we mentioned, the fitness center here at the Highlands Performance Golf Center.
Good dude.
We are live here. Demo days is just now ending. The manufacturers are breaking down their tents. Callaway, Mizuno,
they're taking
TaylorMade.
He's taking my Cobra driver away from me.
King Cobra is already he must have somewhere to be, man.
Yeah,
he's got a date.
He's got a date. He has a date.
He's got a date, or
that is not right.
Maybe something even better going on later. So he is out. The Srixon guy is right behind him.
Yes, he's packing up.
He's right behind him.
Everybody's got their tables down.
Callaway's packed up except for the tent.
Yeah, well,
Mizuno and TaylorMade are a little behind.
They're hustling.
They don't have anywhere to be.
Hustling.
They're chit-chatting. They're probably selling stuff.
They probably know that we're fixing to get done, and I'm going to come out there and swing, and my wife has already been out there to talk to them and say,
Did she buy you a Father's Day present?
Put your crap away, because Lance does not need another driver or anything else.
You got 14 drivers in your bag.
I don't have 14 drivers. I have
You're
one
only allowed
driver.
14 clubs.
I have
you got
one
14 drivers.
Well, I mean, I chip with them.
You know how many drivers I have in my 1997 bag?
A 1982 driver.
I have a 1997 driver.
Oh, well, it's
the head on my driver is smaller than the head on your pitching wedge.
No. Glad
my heads are always smaller than your head.
So glad you said that, and not the other.
What did you think I was going with that?
Nothing. Go ahead. Move on.
This is the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm Andy Cartim. He is Drunk Big Red, and we are live at the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas, 2538 Golden Bear Drive. Phone number 972-733-4111. On the web at golfcenteratthehighlands.com. Demo day is just now ending. If you missed it, you missed it. But you know what? They still have clubs here for you. They still have paraphernalia. Did I say paraphernalia?
Yeah, I mean,
that was probably the wrong word.
This is not a smoke shop.
There's golf paraphernalia. I can say that, right?
Well, I mean, there is, but
the FAA does not rule our broadcast.
You made it sound like it was a smoke shop.
They got some awesome hats in there, by the way. You got me a hat. Appreciate you, man, for the hat. It's amazing.
Got sick of looking at your bald ass head.
But most importantly, if you want to play golf well, and you do not currently play golf well, you want to come out here. You want to talk to Mr. John Gerber, who, by the way, we're looking at on the driving range right now, who's giving Chris Ownbey some instruction. Chris hit a pretty good shot, so I'm not gonna mess too much with that. that swing. But man, we're having so much fun out here. This is the greatest thing we've done in a long time.
Yes, this is cool. This is cool.
They do this 3 times a year. The next one will be in the fall, and we will hopefully be here and promote that as well.
As long as you didn't get us fired.
I'm not the one that. Well, I did get us fired at that one spot. Well, I'm not the one that normally gets us fired. It's Stacy wearing those low-cut tops out everywhere that she goes. Good. What is she wearing?
I don't know, but I get to go home with her.
Damn, dude. Hey, Daisy Duke, how you doing?
Yeah. So that's the kind of response I get.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
What?
So we did have a few more sports segments to get to. Do you want to wrap it up or do you want to keep going? Because demo days ended 20 minutes ago.
I'll say we save these and we push them off and
we wrap it up.
Wrap it up. We've had a great day. Let's not screw it up with.
We don't want to mess it up because
I'm afraid
we could mess it up.
I'm afraid that some of the stories that I've got will maybe screw this all up.
Oh yeah, so let's save the pink shorts.
Hey, hey now, nope.
We are the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am IndyCar Tim. He is Drunk Big Red, and I guess we're going to wrap this up because we are probably over 2 hours now in. We've had such a good time here at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. We want to thank Mr. John Gerber, Mr. Chris Bussell, Mr. Chris Ownbey without the S.
I'm sorry.
God,
apologies and corrections.
You never screw up a guest's name, okay? Number 1 rule. Well, number 4 rule in radio.
You know what? It was my first.
This is your first mistake. All right. There we go. So we appreciate them having us out. We will be back next Sunday live from Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande at our regularly scheduled time, 9 p.m. Back on Facebook, back on hopefully all the stuff that I couldn't get working today, but we were on Facebook, and that's the important thing.
Yep.
So, Mr. Big Red, why don't you go ahead and take us out of here?
Once again, folks, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you find happiness as we do. And the new piece, you boys and girls out there, when the demons come knocking, please call us. We're always available. We'll help you through it. We'll fight them together. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast, but you better join us for the next one, too, because there'll be a lot more alcohol and more drunk sports talk with Lance and Tim. Until next time, here's to ya.
We're all drunk.
This is the funnest night ever!
Loud noises!
Surprise, I'm here.